is my second video on here. In my first one, I kind of switched about halfway through from whispering to soft speaking. So I'm gonna try to stay kind of consistent in whispering here. I'm sorry if the same thing happens, but I want to experiment a little more with whispering than I do with soft speaking. I also decided to try a new filming location. I am on the floor right now. I'll see how I like it. I'll see how you guys like it. Now, I don't really have a plan today, but it's a little more structured than the last one. I just wanted to info dump about music. And so if you're one of those souls who isn't really all that interested in music, this might not be the video for you. But if you're like me and it's one of the things you love the most, then I recommend you stay around and maybe listen and judge me for my opinions a little bit. I talked a little bit last time. Mostly what I told you guys is I'm a really big fan of Oasis. And, well, that still is true after a week. I guess I should go into why I'm a big fan of them and what really got me into their music. There's this movie on Netflix called, I think it's called P.S. To All the Boys I Still Love You. It's in I think a trilogy right now. There's a spin-off show, but the trilogy goes To All the Boys I've Loved Before, To All the Boys I Still Love You, and then there's the third one, P.S. I don't remember the name, but I watched it with an ex-partner of mine, and weirdly in the middle of the movie there's like a breakup sequence. They're not together anymore, and the main girl in the movie puts on a playlist the boy had made for her, and one on it was Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis. And I heard that song, and being an American and a guitar player, I know the song Wonderwall like almost all of us do. But Don't Look Back in Anger was the first other Oasis song I had heard, and I just fell in love with it. I also thought it was really funny that they let that movie use it. But so after the end of that relationship, I looked for that song and I found it, and I also found a video by a music reviewer on this on YouTube called Todd in the Shadows. He was reviewing an album of theirs that was kind of remembered badly, called Be Here Now. But so after that I decided, okay, I have to look into this band. So I started listening to them, and my god, they're just amazing. Their first two albums, I mean, I don't think there's a single bad song on them. And looking through the rest of their discography, I think they got a little bit worse over time. But when I say that, I mean, maybe there's only 5 songs I like on an album instead of all 12. And so, if anyone wants to get into that band, I recommend you listen. I mean, I would really recommend you listen to their first 2 albums in full. Definitely Maybe and What's the Story, Morning Glory. But if you like specific songs, then I'm sure you know Wonderwall. But listen to Live Forever, Don't Look Back in Anger. I'd recommend Roll It Over from their 4th album. If you want one of the rock songs, I just recommend Rock and Roll Star as the very first song on Definitely Maybe. And yeah, Oasis is one of my big loves at the moment, but they're not the only band or other music group that I'm into. I've been into Metallica for a very long time. basic pick, but you know, things are basic for a reason. It's because they're usually pretty good. I was a metal enjoyer for many years. I still do like it from time to time, but Metallica, especially, and then bands like Slipknot or Korn, new metal acts like that. I'm also into, bands like Metallica, as I said, and Megadeth, the more thrashy ones. And I completely lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. If you can't tell from my voice, I have been a little sick. That's why I've been putting off recording a video. I wanted to sound good for you guys, and I think I'm mostly getting it back. And I think I'm ready to help you sleep or help you get through the day or whatever you use ASMR for. You know, there are many ways to use it. I specifically use it to sleep, but I won't judge you regardless. Moving on from metal, I'm also into a lot of softer acoustic acts now. I'm into Cave Town a lot. I think I talked about them in my last episode. I find myself writing a lot of songs on the guitar similar to, especially the earlier Cave Town songs that had a more folkier vibe. And I'm very thankful I got to see him live. I didn't really appreciate it at the time, but it was a great show. It was Cave Town and Mother Mother, if you know them, which was kind of a weird clash of bands to me, but I really enjoyed it. So yeah, and there was a large time where I was more into that folkier sound. You know, I unfortunately did grow up listening to country music. That's something that not a lot of people like about me. But, you know, it's what I was raised with, and especially more modern country people like Tyler Childers, Jimmy Johnson. I'd put the Dead South in that list. People like that. I think they really bring something that a lot of people can enjoy. And if you're a Supernatural fan, I also know that Jensen Ackles is in a band that they're kind of rock, they're a little all over the place, but I've heard a couple of their songs, and they can get a little folkier. One of my friends right now actually is really into that band because he is obsessed with Jensen Ackles. I'm sorry for taking breaths, by the way. I'm trying to make sure that my voice doesn't give out because, again, a little bit sick, just a little bit. And I want you guys to have a good experience. And I also want to be able to record more videos without having to wait an entire week. I think I don't have a specific upload schedule just yet. I think I'm going to shoot for about 2 videos a week. Until I can figure this out a little more, figure out my format a little more, and then maybe I can set specific days, specific times. Everything will be going by Mountain Standard Time because that is the time zone I live in, and I'm tired of having to convert from the East. Anyway. Back to music. I've suddenly forgotten every single band I've ever liked. I really should have written some notes for this. As you can see by my hoodie, I have seen Glass Animals live. I'm not necessarily their biggest fan, but Dave Bailey did put on a great show. There are a couple songs that I do really like by them. I mean, Heat Waves, obviously. That's the one that everyone likes. enjoyed it quite a lot. I just enjoy live music, really. The first show that I really went to see, that I wanted to see, was in, I believe, 2017. Queen were touring with Adam Lambert, and I was a big Queen fan at the time. I really looked up to Brian May. He was one of the people that made me play guitar. And so I saw them with my mother and my brother, and it was a very fun experience. I sang along quite a lot. After that, I saw Metallica in 2018 in Las Vegas, and they put on a great show. I've actually seen them again in 2023. They played with Pantera, the reunited Pantera. I say reunited. It was Phil Anselmo, the original lead singer, and Rex Brown. I think his name is Brown. Rex, the original bass player. Unfortunately, the drummer and guitar player, the Abbott brothers, they passed away. So I don't remember who was on drums. I know they put Zach Wilde in on guitar. I thought it was quite a good show. I truly never thought I'd get to see them in my lifetime, and I'm very happy that I got to. They also played with Mammoth, Wolfgang Van Halen's band. I was pleasantly surprised. I had never actually heard them before. They were very refreshing. Shockingly heavy. The dude can really play guitar. There's also Five Finger Death Punch. I'm not really a big fan of them, but my brother is. He was there as well. And so he really got to enjoy them being there. But back to the other live shows I've seen. After Metallica, I was supposed to see Megadeth. They were touring with the Scorpions, but something had happened. His vocal cords had gone out. I did get to see Megadeth in 2021. They were touring with Lamb of God. That was also a really good show. I also saw Slash and Miles Kennedy in 2018, and for any other natives of the great state of Arizona, I saw the Gin Blossoms. They were a really big alternative band in the 90s. I'm sorry, I'm going back into soft speaking. It is a little easier for me, but I want to experiment with whispering for now. But I saw the Gin Blossoms. They were one of my mom's favorite bands back in the day. She was really happy to go to that show. After that, I took a little break from shows, but I went back and saw Slipknot in 2021. One of my friends had an extra ticket, and so I got to see them with my friend and his two brothers. That's a story for another time. I'm sure I'll tell it. After them, I saw the band Water Parks, if any of you know them. It's weird. They sound really good live. I liked their show a lot. But I'm not really a fan of how they record their music. It sounds a little too electronic for me, if that makes sense. I've never really been a big fan of electronic music. I always that's kind of a lie, but I've always been more of a fan of live instruments. You know, guitar, actual drums, bass. I think that kind of shows through the music I listen to. But I saw them. They also had an opener, Femme. That's a band that I really grew to love after that show. After Water Parks, I saw Hailstorm and Evanescence. They toured together. I think Femme also opened for them, if I'm not mistaken. But that was a badass show. If you've never listened to Hailstorm, please do. Lizzie Hale is a badass woman. And Evanescence, is Evanescence. Everyone knows them. Let's see, after that, I saw Metallica again. Then I saw Glass Animals. And then I saw Cave Down. I also saw My Chemical Romance. I believe that was in 2019. 2022 when they got back together and actually started touring again, because they were supposed to tour in 2020, but we all know what happened there. I went to California with two of my good friends. I'm not going to say their names because I'm not sure if they'd be okay with being put on blast on the internet, but that was a very enjoyable experience, and water parks also opened for them. I think that's all the live shows I've been to. I want to go to more. I really do love live music. I love being there in the crowd. No, I also saw Queensryche. Kind of by accident. One of my friends had told me they were going, and I looked at the tickets and they were pretty cheap. And I bought them. Well, my mother bought them. I was in 8th grade, so I didn't have any money of my own. But my mother bought the tickets. Sorry, I got scared. I should got a notification on my computer. My mother bought the tickets, but she had actually bought 3 of them. It was supposed to just be me and my brother. So, because we had a third, we couldn't sell it to anyone that we knew. My dad decided to go with us. Now, he's not really a fan of metal music. He likes AC/DC. That's about as hard as he'll go. But, he went to see them with us, and he got really drunk. My brother drove home. Now, my dad's a really fun drunk, so this wasn't a bad thing. And, in the middle of it, he started disco dancing to a metal band. It was to the point where the lead singer told him to put a spotlight on him. I was like, hey, keep going, man. That was a really good night. That was a really fun time. And that's one of the things I love about live music. You never know if you're going to get to see something like that. One more show. I also saw the Cowboy Bebop live show with another friend of mine. I've never actually seen Cowboy Bebop. I do like anime, but that's just one that's passed me by. But it was a really good show. It's just a big band, jazz band, playing through a lot of the soundtrack and showing snippets from the episodes. And it was really fun. There was a sousaphone player at one point. That's the big tuba for anyone who was never in marching band. And I was unfortunately a band kid, and that's what I played because I was the only one big enough to actually carry the damn thing. So it's always nice to see people playing it. I do kind of miss marching band. I do not miss high school at all. Those were some bad years for me, but I really miss marching band. I loved playing music with a group. I loved learning the drill. I loved playing in the stands at football games. If there was ever like a third-party marching band out here, I would really consider joining it. Wow, I've been rambling for almost 20 minutes about this. As you can tell, I really love music. But I think that's where I'm gonna end the video for today. In the future, I wanna experiment more, just because I'm new to this all. I'd also like to maybe show off my guitar collection because it is well over 15 instruments, which makes me feel a little bit insane to say, but you know what, it's fine. But anyway, I hope you guys have a good night or a good day or whenever it is you're watching this.